How are we doing, Bills? Welcome back to another Shroomy TV video today covering Bitcoin, Microstrategy. Here we're looking at Coinbase, Robinhood, Asst, which is Strive, similar to Microstrategy but a lot smaller market cap. Obviously taking a closer look at Bitcoin as well and Ethereum, which had a request from in the last video. So we'll get into that in this video. Then my next video that's going to come out next week, later in the week, is going to cover stablecoin dominance, look at altcoins, look at the crypto market caps as well, and really honing in on the 4-year lows that are expected later this year, as this has so far been 7 months of a bear market. Longer on Bitcoin, it's been October since October last year, so we're now roughly 9-10 months through the Bitcoin bear market, which typically lasts 12 months. So loads of opportunity in the market. Retail participation is low. Not many people are still interested in the market, but we're going to get into this video. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button, and everyone else, like the video, and let's get into it. Now on this channel, you know how bullish I am on Bitcoin and the 4-year lows come later this year. Month 47 we've got potentially. Back in 2014 it was month 46, the bottom, 47 in 2018. 2022 was month 47. Will we see month 47 again, which would be around October time. But again, when we see Bitcoin do a 7x here off the lows in 2022 to the highs, roughly at about 700% move, 685% move here. We see MicroStrategy obviously do considerably better, a 34x, even higher up here to the wick, but if we use the body close on the weekly time frame, about a 34x. So you've got Bitcoin 700% move, you've then got MicroStrategy, which is like a beta asset, and more higher risk, and done a 34x. So if I was bullish on Bitcoin, then I would be bullish on MicroStrategy to outperform Bitcoin and have some exposure. And then ASST, Strive here, what we can see is essentially the company has evolved from a traditional asset manager into treasury strategy, using corporate capital to accumulate large Bitcoin holdings, similar into the concept to strategy, which is this chart that I'm showing you here. And basically this is just even more higher risk than strategy because it's a lot lower. It's like a 1 billion market cap, and again this was just me putting it into ChatGPT, but keep it there for the time being. But what we can see is I'm looking at this purple area, this massive support that we bounced in December 2022, wicked into in April with the tariff lows in 2025, we got back into in February of this year, and anywhere in this area around 7%, about $7 I would be looking to potentially get into. We can see from the bounce here back in April from the tariff lows, and done a 32x in the period of about 50 days, so a month and a bit, done a 32x. And again, if Bitcoin puts in its 4-year low later this year, I'm going to be looking at how this chart is looking. Is it holding support here? If we end up losing this massive support area and go under, we might need to reevaluate things. But this is a chart I've got a keen eye on at the minute, and I want to cover on this channel. Obviously alongside MicroStrategy, I'll obviously put more weight into MicroStrategy, but I will be looking for some exposure in this probably. But I'll keep you updated on this channel as we look at for Bitcoin to get into this 4-year cycle low at the end of the year. We've been looking at Bitcoin finding the 4-year low on this channel. We've been looking at the 1-year bear market on Bitcoin typically, and we've been bearish since about February on this channel. The end of January, start of February, we flipped bearish when a key level and trend line, this rising wedge on the total crypto market cap, lost its level, and we also seen Bitcoin looking significantly bearish. But as we can see here, if we actually look at the previous 4-year cycles to the lows, they look so similar to this one as well playing out, except this one isn't as far away through, and in the previous cycles we've seen us get below 0.786 fib, which would be about 40,000. If Bitcoin wants to see that, that's about another 50% move down, 40% move down from where we are at the minute at 62k. And I'd be getting really excited about MicroStrategy, about Coinbase, Robinhood, ASST, and then again I got an Ethereum. Somebody wanted me to cover this, so again we've been bearish in here from this rising wedge or bear flag, whatever you want to call it. Either way, it's bearish. I said it was pretty much a carbon copy from the price action we've seen above in here, which was this move in here, which I said would kind of repeat, and that's exactly what I said. And yeah, it's just been kind of doing this pattern in this rising wedge, and we've now found support at 1.5k. This area that we bounced in September of 2023, we bounced to the tariff lows in 2025 in April, and we're at again. But I do think we can get down and sweep the lows from the last bear market in 2022, about 1,000. I think Ethereum could see triple digits here, get below 1,000. But again, 4-year lows, when Bitcoin gets to 4-year lows, crypto market gets its 4-year lows, and then hopefully we get a breakout and a bottom will be in. But I think it's too soon to call the bottom on Ethereum. Certainly think it's too soon to call the bottom on Bitcoin as it stands. And we just keep this clear outlook on this channel. I mean, if you are finding value from these videos, please smash the like button. And obviously it's a horrible time to be in the market when everything's capitulating. But it is what it is. Ethereum, obviously, what's Ethereum down from the highs back in August? About 70% on the biggest altcoin in crypto is down 70% in less than a year. So you can imagine the rest of the state of the market and how the participants feel. But yeah, again, I covered Coinbase in the previous video. 2021 high, the 2022 bear market low, 2025 peak, 4-year high. Expecting another 4-year low in here. How low we get, I'm not sure. But until Bitcoin bottoms out, I really wouldn't expect too much from Coinbase. And obviously this rising wedge has broken down and probably continue to go down a bit more. And you can see in that 1-year bear market, it's bearish price action, and the way up is bullish. Any dip in the uptrend gets eaten up, and we keep going higher. So follow wedge, break up, follow wedge, break out, follow wedge, break up, follow wedge, break up, follow wedge, break up, and on the way down, bearish patterns come down. Rising wedge, bearish pattern come down. So I think a little bit more pain on Coinbase is certainly ahead of us. I think strategy is at $100 at the minute. I do think that can go lower. Robinhood's holding up very, very well, to be fair. Only down 25% from the high back in October 2025, which is the exact same time Bitcoin peaked. If we look at Coinbase, it had a high in July 2025, it then had that macro lower high about the 6th of October when Bitcoin peaked. So it topped first and then put in a lower high before rolling over. So it topped a few months before Bitcoin. So does it bottom a few months before Bitcoin potentially? Who knows? And then Robinhood, as I said, it's performing better. But this massive support we've had, this trend line, we're now on the other side of it, where it was previously, if I get this, previously bouncing off. We then lost it in here, and now we're bouncing off it this way. So is Robinhood starting its decline into the 4-year low? Time will tell. But it looks like Coinbase is going for its 4-year low. Microstrategy is certainly going for its 4-year low in here. Down massively from the highs. Down 80%. If we take it from the actual wick, down 85%. So massively down. Bitcoin also massively down from the highs. Over 50% the move down.